Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today for Sketchbook Sunday, episode 40. Today I'm working in my moleskine sketchbook with watercolor, and it's not anything special, intricate, or crazy. I'm pretty much doodling, scribbling with watercolor, and not having any direction. I'm just kind of going for it, so yeah, hope you enjoy. I'm using my Winsor & Newton watercolor little artist compact set. It's seen better days. As you can see, it's a complete mess. I've taken it on travels with me before. It's been in so many different suitcases and backpacks and has seen better days. And I've also used a lot of the colors, and I'm mixing phthalo green, I believe, or one of the greens. I'm missing because I lost it ages ago. Not sure what happened, but I need phthalo green because I use it a lot in my watercolor pieces especially. Also, I was experimenting with using gesso for watercolor. I know I use gesso for oils, and that's typically what it's used for priming canvases, for acrylic and oil paintings, but as it turns out, it also works for watercolor. I haven't tried painting with watercolor on a canvas, but I did paint my sketchbook with gesso, and then I used the watercolor on it. And it turns out that you can use watercolor on the gesso, but it doesn't work the same way as it would on watercolor paper. I think watercolor paper is optimal, but it does work. I did some tests. As you can see, I'm just kind of dabbing some colors on, and they tend to bunch up. Like some of the pigment gathers in one little bit of water, and it's like this little dark spot, and it happens a lot, whereas with watercolor paper it just kind of distributes around the paper. So there is the effect of these little watercolor blotches that could happen, but it worked, and it doesn't warp or ruin the paper as it would if I didn't use watercolor, or if I didn't use gesso. And I have used watercolor on my moleskine before, and it does work if you use very, very minimal water, because the water, or the paper in the moleskine is not designed for watercolor or pretty much anything but drawing and writing and sketching. And of course I like to go beyond that, so that's why I started priming my pages with gesso and then using oils on it. I did an acrylic sketch at one point and watercolor now. So I was just sketching this shadowy face, only like half of the face, and the rest of it just fades into shadows and watercolor scribbles and whatnot. Again, I'm not really trying to create something mind-blowing here. It was just kind of a fun, mindless exercise, and I had a good time with it. And I think it's important to just sometimes play and not have a direction and just let the paint take you somewhere. Obviously my oil paintings are more intricate, more elaborate, and more planned, and I like for that to be that way. I like my finished products, my oil paintings, to be more pristine and more detailed. I like to dedicate more time to it. I like to have an idea of what the painting will look like before I even start the painting, versus this, where it's like, I'm just gonna paint whatever. I knew I was gonna paint a face. I briefly referenced an old photograph I took like ages ago. I think I was like, I don't know, I think it had to have been like 8 years ago, but I was referencing that photo, and it was like a shadowy photo. It was in black and white, didn't have any color references. I just kind of wanted the shadows and replicate something similar to that. And then I went in with a gold gel pen, and I just kind of outlined some of the watercolor shapes, and I put some on the face as well. Basically just put gold pen wherever I thought it would look cool, and yeah, it ended up making it better in my opinion. I feel like that's what was missing. It was very bland up until that point, and it might even still be bland, but it's a lot less bland than before. So yeah, gold gel pen, or gel pens in general, are actually really fun to use with watercolor. You can do different effects. Like with white gel pen, you can add highlights and little details. I haven't tried a black gel pen yet, so that's maybe next, but I have used silver. And I also like to write letters in gel pens. Unfortunately, gel pens run out very, very quickly, but I love the effect. They look beautiful. So that is basically it for the Sketchbook Sunday. Thank you for watching episode 40. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Happy holidays to you guys, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye everyone!